So what's under the cloth? Well, it sure as shit ain't no apple pie. This is, of course, the 1911 R1 carry from Remington. It's full-size 1911, stainless steel construction. I can't remember what the coating is on it. Black finish, stainless accents. Damn fine pistol. It's been shot here on the channel. That's not what we're here for. This is a friend's Series 80 Mark IV Colt 1911 stainless steel government model. The original grips are back with the original box at my friend's house. This humidity is not a place for wood or cardboard. Lucky it's been kind of cool today and not too terribly bad, but it was a little windy, so I did not get to shoot it. Knew it was coming and just decided it wasn't going to happen. I can't be down in those woods with earplugs in, setting off small explosions by myself. Somebody needs to be watching trees. At any rate, it is a fine handgun, and it will be shot side by side with the Remington here on the channel sometime in the next week or two. See, the magazine has been removed. And the trigger, get my left trigger finger on there. It's not bad at all. I like it. The only issue this gun has is a weak spring pushing on that safety. It functions perfectly fine and is safe to use, but not a fan of that. It still has to be engaged positively by you for that hammer to drop. But, right. Of course, we have the manual safety, which works fine. And then take that back off, nestle it in the fine handgun. The design is 111 years old, or at least it was adopted 111 years ago. I believe they had the competition in 1907 that wound up selecting the 1911. Luger, Mauser, several other makers submitted designs, but this is what won out. John Browning knew his stuff. The man was a genius, absolute genius. I mean, some version of this is in service somewhere in the world right now, and some of them are much older than either of these two guns. The design was 103 when this was built, and this probably 73, 74 years old when this was built. Colt had been making them that long. Remington made them back in the 40s, I believe. The Remington Rand. The Rand Corporation. Getting in on the ground floor, I guess. I don't know. As I said, the original wood grips with the rampant Colt, those are in the box. This is I don't know how old these Packmeyer grip panels are. I know they work. I like them. You'll notice this has been checkered up front. This has some nice grippy checkered texture to it. So get that in the light. Yep. I would have no problem carrying either one of these pistols. Although I would get that safety looked at, because very springs back on its own. This just sort of flops. Like, yeah, sure. I'm doing my thing. But it is 36 years old, and I can't tell you how many rounds have been through it. I've personally seen 500 through it. But that's since it was acquired by my friend. Fine gun. I don't think it was hardly fired before he got a hold of it. Just good workmanship. You know, like I said, the only thing that's loose on it is that. Hold that. Let me get it near the speaker. Got no rattle. This. Nothing. Very tightly made, very accurate handguns. They're proven and they work. Of course, here are the 7-round magazines for each of these pistols. And 1 round, 230 grain. Forgot how lumpy this little bucket tray is. Ball ammunition. Now, the bonus gun for this video has been my steady carry piece for a long time. Tokarev TT-33. It's a good bit slimmer than a 45. And the reason it's a good bit slimmer is because it fires that. 7.62 by 25 millimeter. It's a 30 to 32 caliber bullet, roughly, generally speaking, with a 25 millimeter long case and extremely high velocity, especially out of a handgun like this. This has been my principal carry piece since I first got my permit. I still carry it on occasion. It's very slim, very light. Also very tight. With a single action trigger. That is a trigger that just drops the hammer. That's all it does. 8-round magazine. Both have seen better days. That poor gun's been to the beach and back. I don't think I'd even take that Remington down there. They haven't made that they didn't make that type of pistol after 2014. They only made them for, I think, a year. And of course, that Remington is gone. It is no longer with us. Colt is, in some fashion. Colt's still around. It's been traded out and back over the years, just 2 or 3 times since that pistol was built. They know what they got, if you catch my meaning. They price accordingly, too. A little Tokarev there can be got for about $300. A nice one. You can probably get one of the Yugoslav ones. They don't take these magazines, but the ones they do take hold 9 rounds. Fantastic gun. The M57. Some of you might be wondering why it looks kind of familiar. If you take these these serrations here, kind of arrow them out towards the bottom, and slant them a little bit more. This is the weapon of choice of the Kingsman. With a little 410 gauge shotgun under the barrel, which, if I could find me one of those, you bet your ass would be on it. You bet your ass it would be on there. I carry that. I would have a holster made for that. I have several holsters. I looked up and I want to say it's a Togwa or Togwa. I'm not sure how to pronounce it, but I think they made briefly a 9mm 1911 holster that fits this magnificently. Either one of these is stretched out. And I have a DeSantis. Is it DeSantis? Or is it Bianchi? I'll have to look. I can't believe I'm blanking on that. At any rate, for that brown leather, it's nice. Here in a little while, I'll be breaking down the Remington and the Tokarev side by side to show the differences and sort of do a little compare and contrast over what was done between the 1902-03 type pistols, the 1911, and this. As the name implies, TT-33, that's when the Russians adopted them. This one was built in the 50s, I believe. It's still going strong, has had no issues, runs like a top, it's tight, shoots like a champ. I couldn't tell you how many rounds I put through it. Boxes and boxes and boxes. Still running fine. There's ammunition you can run in this pistol you can't run in the CZ52. And that pistol is essentially it's an H&K G3 on your hip. It's a chunk. Sounds like a damn cannon going. It's louder than this thing. But you can't run. I've got some ammo you cannot run in them. It'll crack the slides. Single action semi-autos are probably my favorite, especially single stack mags. They're slim. In the case of the Tokarev, they're pretty light. Of course, you can get fancy with the materials and spend the money and get something that's really light and easy to carry. And if you look around used, don't be afraid of used guns. If they're selling it in a store, there's a good chance the damn thing works fine. If it doesn't, then you have an issue, but that's something you can settle with a shop, especially like smaller shops. They don't like dissatisfied customers. And as long as you're reasonable, they'll treat you right. At any rate, I'm going to close out this video, and here in a little while I'll get set up and do the disassembly video. It will still contain the Series 80 to act as the assembled model while I talk. At any rate, thanks for watching, and see you again in a bit.